Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of the Last Eagle Heart podcast. DJ, spin it.
Eagle Heart podcast. You are listening to the Last Eagle Heart. You are listening to the Last Eagle Heart podcast.
What is up, everybody? How's your Friday going? Is it going great? Amazing? I mean, it's going great, Dawson. That's what I'm talking about. Man, I'm hyped. This is the 10th episode. We're finally in double digits, baby. Woo! Crack open. Let's celebrate. Full disclosure, that was not an alcoholic beverage. This was Dr. Pepper. Okay, so I do not promote underage drinking. But I'm not saying not to underage drink, okay? But I'm just not promoting it on this podcast, okay? So it's up to you. Am I drinking a Dr. Pepper, or am I going to be drinking like a Coors Light? I don't know. I'm just kidding. I do not drink Coors Lights. I would never drink a Coors Light. Oh. Brings back way too many bad memories. Every time I heard the cracking sound of a Coors Light opening, I knew some dishes were going to be thrown that night because my dad could not control and contain his alcohol levels. Every time he drank way too much, him and my mom would get into way too big of arguments, and he would just immediately want to start throwing stuff. Like, he'll get, like, his alcohol levels rise, and he's just like, man, that plate would look really good if it was off this counter and just shattered against that wall against the room. Man, you know what? If I can go back in time, I would love to change all, like, the bowls and the cups and all that. Like, right before he started drinking, I would like to change them all out to styrofoam. So we had styrofoam bowls, styrofoam cups, everything's styrofoam. And even the forks and knives, they're plastic. Oh, that would be so funny. Then when he actually gets drunk and goes over there and starts trying to grab things and throws them and tosses them, he would get so frustrated. Like, come on. Imagine a drunk, angry dude trying to throw a styrofoam cup, and then it boomerangs around and hits him right in the face. Like, all he would do at that point is he would just probably break down and cry. He would just, like, after the third throw, and just ricochet and not do anything spectacular. Just be like, curse these styrofoam cups. But no. Man, let's just move on in. 10th episode, double digits. It's packed. We have an adventure to go through. Okay, I have a bunch of things to talk about. We're going to start off with a classic. It's not a classic. I haven't talked about this before, but we're going to start out with skills that I didn't even know I had. Skills that just popped out of nowhere that people have brought to my attention, that these are skills that they don't have, but I have. And that makes me feel special. Just makes me feel like, I'm like, wow, these are just two things that I just didn't even know I had. Like, one, I can kill a fly in my room under a few minutes without any equipment. Give me a flip-flop, boom, done. I hate flies, especially at night when I'm trying to go night-night and things are not working out for me. You know, I'm just trying to snooze. This happened a few weeks ago. I was trying to snooze, catch some Z's. Next thing you know, I just hear bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. Lights were off, TV was off, and all I could hear was this dumb buzzing sound coming from this fly. And I couldn't take it, so I got up, turned the lights on, couldn't find him anywhere, and it didn't buzz. It didn't buzz when I had the lights on, but as soon as I turned it off, got back in my bed all snuggled up, and I was ready to go back to sleep. Next thing you know, I hear bzzz, bzzz, just a fly buzzing around again. And if anybody could sleep solidly, like anybody that's listening to this could sleep solidly with a fly in their room, y'all are psychopaths, and y'all should be in a mental hospital, because there's no way that any normal person could be able to sleep with a fly in their room that's just let loose. That's 100% fact. Because I can't. So guess how I solved killing this fly? Because this was a pretty intelligent fly, and I didn't have much equipment around. And this is what I learned. And I learned that day that I obtained this skill of being able to, I mean, I would call myself a professional fly killer at will, because I didn't have a fly swatter at all. I didn't have really any equipment. I just had a flip-flop. Okay, so I got up out of my bed, flicked the light on. All right, didn't buzz, got back in my bed. I learned to play the game. Next time I got up, flicked the light on, I flicked the light off, but didn't go to my bed. I didn't go to my bed. No, I had my flip-flop by me, turned the light off, and then I started hearing it buzzing, and then I flicked the light on, saw it on a wall, threw my flip-flop, boom, splatter, fly, done. Okay, Dawson 1 point, fly 0. Man, and I felt so good. Yeah, man, and like, felt so relieved to know that when I was going to go back to sleep, that there was going to be no more annoying sounds. I mean, I have to sleep with peace and quiet, in the dark. I can't sleep with the TV on or any of that. That's just me, though. And I have to sleep with the door cracked. Not fully closed, not fully wide open, no. Okay, I gotta sleep with it cracked. You know, just, and I don't know if there's any people out there that are just like me when it comes to that, but if you are like that, like, then you know how I feel. Okay, and then the fan has to be up full blast, even in the winter. Even in the winter, I have to have the fan full blast. I don't know if that's just the only ambient sound that I could tolerate and have, but I sleep with hoodies on and whatever, but I have my fan on full blast. Or in the winter time, I just have it on a little bit, but you know, you get the drift. Next skill, okay? Next skill that I did not even know that I had was knowing military time. Okay, I thought that was something that most kids would learn, you know, like when they were younger. I didn't really, like, my dad taught me it. He taught me it when I was like in the beginning of middle school. When I entered 5th grade, I'm pretty sure it was 5th grade, my dad taught me military time. I don't know how that subject got brought up, but from that point on, my phone was set to military time. Ever since I hit middle school, my iPod Touch, my iPhone, my tablets, my whatever, always had military time. And it still has it right now. Right now, it just displays military time. My computer right now displays military time. I have no aspirations of going to the military, but I just always have had it on military time since that moment. I guess it's because my dad taught me it. But I've always had military time. And I don't know. One day I got this DM from this person, and they asked me, "Hey, do you know military time?" I was like, "Yeah, I know military time." They're like, "Hey, can you read me my schedule?" And it was their work schedule. I don't know why their work schedule was set military time. I think that was the dumbest thing. I think they worked at a food restaurant or something. I don't know. But their stuff was set in military time, and they asked me to give them out their schedule in not military time. And I was like, "You don't know military time?" They're like, "No, I don't know military time." I'm like, oh, fine. So I gave them their whole schedule for the week, not military time, free. Okay, that was my act of kindness for the week. No one asked me for anything else. I just helped a kid learn some military time lessons. And then they asked me how to tell military time, because I wasn't going to do this every week for them unless they were going to start paying me. I was like, "Look, I'm not your not accountant, but I'm not your little helper or your little whatever. You're not going to come up to me every week, 'Hey, Dawson, can you help me out real quick?' No." So I taught him the rules. I said, "This is what I do. I just take, like, for example, if it was 23:30, I would go 23, 22, 21. So I would subtract 2, okay, and then take that front number off, and boom, you got your number. 11:30. Boom, done. Simple." And then they were like, "Oh, wow," because you don't just subtract 12 and all that. That's how my dad taught me. I don't know if that's how you learned or any of that, but that's how I did anyway. So there's no right or wrong way of learning military time, but there you go. I just taught you how to learn military time. Subtract 2, take that front number off, boom, done. You got your real number of military time. So Those are the two skills that I learned that I never had before. So there you go. Way to start off the 10th episode, double digits. I mean, we're jam-packed. Okay, I got some stuff. I don't know. I may even go over my typical 40, 42-minute era. Who knows? We're going to have some fun with this, okay? The first episodes, there was improvement. Room for improvement up here. But you know what? Now we're in double digits. It's blast off time. It's time for Dawson to step it up. So we are here, 10th episode. We're just going to keep things on moving along because this is jam-packed. I mean, I've gotten all this information and it's perfect because it's for the 10th episode, baby. I got an email from my attorney. Actually, that was probably a horrible way to start this out. Well, what did Dawson do? Did he rob somebody? Did he throat punch a kid? I wish it was both of those things. I would have taken either, but it's not. If some of y'all haven't known, if new people listening, my dad is no longer on this planet. Okay? If you haven't listened to the first episode, my dad is no longer here. He passed away last year. Okay? So now we have to go, you know how it typically is when a family member dies or whatever. It's a big old, it has to explode into this big thing. You can't just simply mourn over the family member. No, you can't. It's not like, this is how my dad's death went. He died, and literally there was like 2 weeks of mourning and then like as soon as the memorial was over, we didn't have a funeral. It was like more of a memoriam kind of thing. But after that was over, it was like immediate, like, what stuff does Dawson does Dad have, or what stuff does Tom have that I want? Yeah, my dad's name's Tom. Whatever, Thomas. Ugh. That's his name. But what does he have that I really want? And then you really start seeing the dark side of your family members, or like my dad had a new wife, of course, and you start seeing the bad sides of everybody that was related to him, or you knew that was any part of him. You start seeing the terrible sides of them, and it's annoying to me. You can't, like, it took me months to get over this, over his death. It took me months. I didn't care about anything, his possessions or what. I mean, I wanted a few things, but just for keepsakes. I'm not a materialistic person. I mean, I don't really care about valuables or like, oh, look, I want the most expensive thing he had. Oh, give it to me. It's all mine. Why does it have to be like that? Like, fighting over stupid stuff. Like, for example, I could simply want a lava lamp. Or, for example, if someone in your family has died, you're relating to this, you could simply want a lava lamp from them. And then guess what? The other family member or wife or whatever that was related to them that had anything to do with the will would just swoop in and be like, you know what? I all of a sudden want that lava lamp. And then you just get into a big argument about a lava lamp. And then that's when lawyers have to step in. Okay, I had to drop good old $1,500 to get an attorney. I know, a kid my age having to drop $1,500 for an attorney. I know that's pathetic. That's pathetic, okay? I had to take some out of my savings to fight for my right to my dad's stuff. It is pathetic, but it's just how it is. It's just how people are. You learn the real dark sides of them when a family member dies. That's just how it is. It's just straight up how it is. So now we're in this big old long. Actually, it's really not that long. Basically, the facts are out. Whatever. I mean, the problems are all sourced from my dad's wife. Okay, I call him dad's wife, not stepmom. Ugh. She doesn't even earn that respect from me. Okay, not even close. We're not even gonna get into that realm. She's just my dad's wife. That's all I'm gonna call her. Dad's wife. There you go. My dad's wife. She's the one that causes all the problems. She's the one that caused the whole problem, the whole situation. It could have been simply handled, but guess what? No, she wanted to be selfish with all the stuff, and I felt as though as I was getting ran over. My sister felt like she was getting ran over. My other sister felt like she, and then now it caused this whole big old disrupting thing. Well, and now we all have to deal with it, and we have to do legal battle over the stuff, and it's just instead of just simply being like, hey, this is yours. Hey, I want to keep this. Hey, this is mine. Whatever. No, now it's like we have to pry it now, and it's so stupid. Like, for example, my dad's truck. My dad loved Super Dualies. He loved diesels, Rams, boom, Dodge Rams. That's what he was. That's all he was about. That's what he was about. And she sold it and got her son a truck, and claimed that my dad sold his Super Dually to get that truck. I'm telling you this much, if you saw a picture of my dad, he would not be driving around this Ford F-150 pansy mobile, okay? He's not doing that. He wants something that will tow a space shuttle. You seen those Toyota commercials? Yeah, but this Super Dually that he had could actually tow that. I don't know if that's true, but that's what cars he's into. He wants a truck that can tow a camper, a boat, a jet ski, another camper, a mobile home, I don't know, a party float, all of that all in one. And he wants that to be able to pull anywhere. That's what kind of truck my dad loved. And he loved the sounds of the exhaust. That's one thing him and I bonded over. We love car sounds. Like the car that I have now, beautiful sound. The start up in the morning, whoo, wakes up the neighbors, beautiful sound. My dad's truck, same thing. Starts it up. That's one thing that we loved. We're like, man, we really love the exhaust of these cars. We love truck sounds. The F-150, you turn it on, you can barely hear it's on. You're like, okay, this is basically a Prius. Did Ford come out with the first hybrid truck? Like, come on. Not the first hybrid, but like, I mean, come on. Did they come out with the F-150 hybrid truck? I mean, come on. This sounds like nothing. Well, anyways, I put my foot down, okay? I don't like being petty. That's one thing that I hate being, is I don't like being petty at all. I just, I don't like being ran over. I don't think anybody likes being ran over, but I definitely don't like being petty. But I had to put my foot down in this situation because I knew what it was. I knew there was some lying. There was some stretching of the truth. And I had to slide on in there and basically put my foot down and be like, hey, look, I don't want him having this truck because I know it's not his. And I know you sold that truck to get, I know you sold my dad's truck to get that truck to give to him. I want that truck back to the dealership, and then the money's going to get split evenly. Boom. Now we're already at a problem because guess what? She's not liking it, but guess what? Tough. You're going to have to suck it up because, you lied. So, I mean, you have no power. You're just his wife. I know, it's really harsh for me to say that, but literally, you just married the dude. You're not flesh and blood. You're nothing. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Zilch. Okay, I had to get that out. I'm sorry. This little portion right here is a little bit of, a little bit of anger, a little bit of getting out, but also at the same time, like, I'm trying to explain to y'all what's going on. So, I'm glad my $1,500 is well spent. It's going really good. The attorney is doing great, giving me updates constantly. I think it's be pretty cute too, because coming up in August, I'm gonna be having to do a court date, but I'm gonna be doing it over a Zoom session, so that's gonna be pretty sweet. I'm just gonna be like up on an iPad. Probably the attorney's gonna hold me up, going, "Hey, Dawson has something to say." Put me on the speakers, and I'm gonna be like roasting everybody from my bed. And hey, no one can affect me. What are you gonna do? Press end call? Ooh, silence me. Put me on mute. I don't care. I'll mute myself. Oh man, that's gonna be so cool. I don't know. Would that be the first ever Zoom session court date? Because because of the coronavirus, and they don't want me traveling from Texas to a court area. They wouldn't want me missing work. Plus, also safety precautions during this pandemic. you know, would I be the first Zoom session court meeting? If I am, put me in the record books. This is going to be awesome. Dawson and I go hard. First Zoom session person in court. He's on the stand as an iPad. That'd be pretty cute. But hey, breaking records. What can I say? Another thing that happened this week. Okay? I talked to y'all about in my previous podcast that I had to get a second job. I'm at my second job. Guess what ended up happening? Okay? I just got off of training. Okay? I worked for 2 weekends as a trainee. Now, this was my first weekend as not a trainee. And I almost got fired for being accused of saying the N-word. Now, let that sink in. Okay? Think about what's been going on now, and think about how I reacted to that. Because I want y'all to be fully on clear. I did not say it. I didn't. I'm not that type of person, okay? I know that is completely not even me at all, and it made me angry that my manager would even come up to me and ask me that question. I'm like, who would even think that I would say that? Now, they do blare, and like I work in this like little food truck thing, and they do blare like this music. They do blare rap music, and they blare the explicit, so the N-word is popping out pretty frequently. So maybe, I mean, I don't know how you can confuse me for the music, but I mean, there's other people in that truck too that are singing it. I'm not singing it. I'm just, at the tortilla press, making the tortillas, doing my thing, my job. I mean, what could I have done? I don't think, and then I found out who it was. We'll back up real quick. The manager confronted me, said, hey, did you by any chance during your shift say the N-word? And I looked at her and I laughed in her face. I did, because I was like, is this a joke? And she goes, no, someone, one of the employees complained and said that you said it. And I said, no, that is not me. I have never said it. I will never say it. No, not crossing that line. Okay, I'm not gonna be known. Now I have a target on my back now, because now everybody's like paying attention to what I'm gonna be saying. That's what I felt, at least. Like after that moment, I was just gonna walk in there the next day, and everybody's just gonna be like, all right, pay attention to what Dawson says. He was already accused of the N-word, and he just came in here, not even a first weekend, not even a trainee. Anyways, after that, I went in investigation mode. I wanted to know who it was. I already assumed who it was, but I wanted to, hear it from someone's mouth. Well, I already made buddy with 3 of the employees there. We were pretty chill with each other. So I asked them, I was like, hey, do you know, I got accused of saying the N-word tonight during the shift, but I clearly didn't. And they started laughing, and they were like, oh, well, we already know who probably said it. I was like, who? And it was this girl that works there. She has the worst attitude I have. Oh my God. Ugh. I have no problem with working with women. I have no problem with that. But teenage girls around my age, whatever, I don't know. There's just some of them that just get under my skin, and they're just so dramatic. So dramatic, and that's just how it is. Well, anyways, I don't know why she doesn't like me. I guess it's because I walk into work every day happy. Is that what it is? Is that why she hates me? She hates my happiness? She's like, that kid's happy. He's having a good time. He's having good with life. Well, let's see what we can do. Let's just poop on his parade. Ugh. Anyways, I found out it was her. So, and I'm not racist, okay? That's immature. Of course I would never say that. That's immature. Racism is immature. So, of course, I walked in the next day. Okay? I walked in the next day, grabbed her butt, okay, and got fired like a real, authentic, mature, straight male, white male. and got fired for sexual assault. There you go. That's what happened with me. I'm kidding. That never happened. I'm just kidding. That did not do that. Don't take that to heart and seriously. I know people nowadays take the information that they hear. They can't understand sarcasm. Please don't go to your social medias and be like, oh, Dawson. No, I don't need that. Last thing I need right now is getting canceled. A lot of people are. That's the last thing I need is adding Dawson getting canceled to my list. Pathetic. But no. So, I didn't do anything. I literally walked into work the next day just to see. I basically distanced myself, didn't talk to her the whole time. Tried to not really talk to anybody because, I didn't want anybody to assume anything. But at the same time, there is that music that is blared in there the whole time. And the music that they choose is very thuggish. That's just very is like I don't know. I'm not into that music. I'm not into that thug like, oh yeah man, pull up, I'ma shoot you. Yeah, I'm not into that. I can't relate. I'm not into that music. And a lot of the people that work there are into that music because most of the people that I work with are Hispanic and they're just that's just they're into it. And so they'll be singing along to it, and next thing you know, I'm over there like, okay, well, alright, well, I guess I just gotta bob my head, You see, I'm an early 2000s baby, okay? So I was born and raised to I love rap, so I love, of course, Eminem. Alright, 50 Cent, awesome. But I was also born with the Nelly, the Chingy, and you notice that the early 2000 rap was not thuggy at all. It was just mostly partying and just, having a great time. Like, that's how I like my rap. I like the early 2000s partying, just having a great time rap, that kind of thing. And it wasn't really even that bad. Like, if you listen to Right There by Chingy, okay, one of my all-time favorite songs, you listen to it closely, I don't think he cusses in it once, and I know that he doesn't say the N-word. So just then and there, I know for a fact it can be done, that it doesn't have to be like how the music is now. So I'm an early 2000s music fan. That's just how it is. And yes, I do take control of the iPod sometimes, and I do click on it, and they're just like, what is this music? I'm playing like D4L, Laffy Taffy. I'm like, oh, girl, shake that Laffy Taffy. Ooh, come on, I gotta get my jams up in there. So that's just me though. And that's how I press my tortillas, listening to Laffy Taffy by D4L. Hey, that was me and my dad's favorite song. He showed me that song, and him and I loved it. So that's how Outkast. Oh my god. Oh. I cannot forget about Outkast. That's a great band right there. Sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. Oh man, I can't even. Me talking about this just makes me want to get off this podcast right now, go onto Spotify on my TV, and just vibe into that music. That just brings up so many great memories. Just that right there. And that's what music that I really, really like. And I'm not saying that I don't like really any of the modern music, but I don't like a lot of it. Some of it I can depict from, but not a lot of it. But also, no, I'm into rock too. I love rock. Ooh. Red Hot Chili Peppers. But I'm also kind of into that goth punk rock kind of thing, My Chemical Romance, Green Day. Mwah! Perfect bands. So, if y'all were not interested into my music, y'all are now knowing what my music is now. So if you enjoy my music choices, come on, we'll do some carpool karaoke. Come on, we'll just sing along to whatever music that I have playing in my playlist. Give me the aux chord. A lot of people do like me on the aux chord. That's actually one thing that I can also claim that I was very good at. In high school, they would always be like, does anybody want to play music? No one would speak up, and then they'll volunteer me because they already knew I had a fire playlist. They're like, know what, Dawson, come on, hook us up with that early 2000s. I'm like, all right, boom, Outkast, some of that old Kanye, 50 Cent, all of them, just great era was the early 2000s, and I will say that until I die, that the early 2000s was the greatest era for like that rap hip hop era. I mean, come on, Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide. That's I mean, come on, you gotta think about that. Oh, but we're moving on to the fun fact portion of this podcast. Fun fact. Every podcast that I do has a fun fact. So if you're a new listener, guess what? You're about to learn a fun fact. This fun fact is waiters should be tipped 15 to 20% of their meal of the meal total. I know that a lot of people know that fact, but people don't act like it because I have dealt with the food service industry a lot in my life. And people do not even tip close to that a lot of the times. People always take advantage of it. They'll look at you, they'll buy $80 worth of food, and they'll only tip you like, what, $5? And you're like, what? Or like $2? You're like, what is going on here? This doesn't add up. What am I supposed to do with this? You're supposed to tip me more. Like, I mean, Jesus, I did everything for you. You asked for extra ketchup. You asked for extra mustard. I did everything that I could for you. I took the burger back and completely redid the burger for you because it had pickles on it and you didn't want to take the pickles off. Yeah, okay, I'm getting PTSD. Calm down, Dawson. I'm getting some PTSD from the food service industry. And I promised myself that I would never go back, but now I'm at a barbecue place. But it's not the same. It's not the same as fast food. I can't deal with fast food or like waiting. I can't deal with those things. I can be at a tortilla press all day and do that and burn my fingers, but I will not serve someone else food because they do not know how to tip. And I'll tell you this much. I didn't know how to tip either for a while. I didn't learn how to properly tip until I was in 10th grade. Yeah. It was embarrassing. I had a job at 16, started when I was in 9th grade, and I did not know how to tip till I got to like the end of my 10th grade year. Did not. I didn't know 15 to 20% was what you were supposed to tip. But I learned. And I started tipping like that. But here's the thing though. I did not tip 15 to 20% every time. If you were a bad server, you were getting under 10%. You're probably getting maybe 5. That's me being generous. And if you were really bad, if you're a really bad waiter or waitress, I'm just going to put down like $2 and I'm going to put down some pocket change. Because isn't that just like the most sick? I think that's the most sickening tip ever, is just tipping with some pocket change. Like you see some like, you see like 2 quarters, few dimes, a nickel and a penny or whatever, and you're just like, wow, he really tipped me $2 and like, 70 something cents. Wow, what a jerk. Well, you should have been a better waiter. That's for sure. God. Serve with a better attitude. You have this job for a reason. But no, that's the fun fact. Okay, so if you didn't know that, people that are listening to this, okay, adults that are listening to this, you already should know. But kids that are around my age, I bet you some of y'all don't know how to properly tip. So 15 to 20%, that's all they're asking. But you know what? I would recommend tipping like me. Because a lot of people that are in the service, or not a lot, some of the people that are in the service industry don't deserve that 15 to 20, and you show them that they have to work for it. Because I make them work for it every time. They're going to get some pocket change. That's for sure. And now we're moving into the news article. The news. What's in the news? Well, I'm not going to show you anything bad because you already get plenty of that. So I find some other stuff in the news that the news really doesn't put a headline to. And on this podcast, I put a headline to some news that may be interesting, funny, heartwarming, or something to talk about. other than all the just crap that they put on the news, and they just like throw these in there as their side pieces that you have to find on the internet. So you come here to this podcast to find this information out. And the news article I have for you today is man's bladder explodes after holding in his pee for 18 hours after a beer binge. That's what I'm talking about. He got so toked that he forgot to pee and his bladder exploded. That is what I'm talking about. That's how you got a champ. Was he in a fraternity? I don't know. I have this tabbed on my phone, and I have to talk about this more. I have to go on and find out. Okay, he was 40. He passed out after 10 bottles of beer. 10 bottles of beer on the wall. 10 bottles of beer, and a bladder exploded. What a beast. Drinking session. Abdominal pains. Wow. He couldn't pee. Well, no wonder he couldn't pee. His bladder just exploded. Ew. Even worse, one of the holes that had ruptured towards the patient's abdominal cavity and forced parts of his intestines to spill into the bladder. A complication doctors deem potentially fatal if not fixed immediately. Here's the good twist. Here's the good twist. His life was saved. Yep. While bladder explosions are rare. Wow. Every year they have at least one patient at the hospital. That is crazy. That's insane. Actually, to think about it, 18 hours he held it in for? That has to be a Guinness record. I have to type this in. World record. There's not even a world record for holding in your pee. Really. But there's all these other dumb world records, but there can't simply be in for the longest person to hold it in pee. I guess it's because due to, like, it can cause health complications. I mean, here's the thing, though, about holding in your pee. Road trips are the worst for me. I don't typically hold it in that long, but on road trips, if I'm trying to get somewhere and I have a goal and I want to meet my goal and I'd only want to stop once, if I have to pee and I have to stop again, it's going to be a while. I think the longest that I've held in my pee was an hour and a half, and I was just on the road. But during that hour and a half, the pain was just slowly building up. And I don't condone doing this. I don't know if it's a competitive thing, but when I want to get to my destination, I want to get there. Okay? I don't want to, dilly-dally around. I want just to get there. And if I already made my one stop, I don't want to stop again and waste more time. I just want to get there. And, I mean, eventually, yeah, I did pull over, but I pulled over on the side of the interstate, peed where everybody could see me, who cares? But no, it hurts so bad. So for the fact that this guy drank so much that he even noticed how full his bladder was for 18 hours and all that happened to him, I deem that a world record. He is a world record holder right there. Okay, what's his name? Mr. Who. Alright. Mr. Who, I'm not the Guinness Book of World Records guy, but if you're listening to this, I want to congratulate you, Mr. Who, on being the longest, like the person that held their pee in for the longest, setting it at 18 hours. Okay? And if there's anybody out here that wants to challenge Mr. Who and wants to go 18 hours in 1 minute, start now. And your best bet is just start binge drinking some alcohol because you won't even notice like Mr. Who did. And Mr. Who, I know all those complications may not seem worth it and deemed necessary, but I will tell you this right now. If you are listening, you deserve a plaque. I will contact Guinness Book of World Records myself and get you in on there for holding in your pee the longest amount of time. There we go. We got to give him a round of applause. Mr. Who, holding in your pee for 18 hours. What a champ. I mean, dude, that's some next level stuff right there. That tops a lot of the stuff that I see in the world record books. Let's just look at some of the world records that are even out here. World records. We'll just type in dumb world records. Just, broaden our search. Top 10 dumbest world records. That didn't show me anything. Most toilet seats broken by their head in 1 minute. Whoa. Okay. Holding in your bladder for 18 hours definitely tops that. Most snails on the face for 10 seconds. I think exploding bladder tops that. 18 hours. Loudest burp. I mean, come on. Come on. You get that kind of stuff. Come on. Most kisses in 1 minute by a pair. 258 kisses. Are you kidding? I bet kissing someone 258 times? That is ridiculous. I bet by like I don't even know. By like probably the 20th one, they're just alright. Oh my god. When's this gonna be over? Oh my. Is this even worth it anymore? By the 258th one, they're just smashing, they're just headbutting each other. That's definitely. But just looking at all these dumb world records that are in the Guinness book, holding in your pee for 18 hours, Mr. Wu, exploding bladder. He holds two, probably the first. Oh no, never mind. He might not be the first. So he definitely holds one record, and that's 18 hours is the longest held in pee record in the books. If I was around you right now, Mr. Who, I would give you a plaque with your name on it. Okay? But that is our news article. News. Now we're diving right on into our conclusion. And typically into the conclusion, I would be talking about something that someone gave me in review, or someone gave me, or just wanted me to give me something interesting to talk about or whatnot. But I have not gotten anything, which is fine. I don't care. But if you feel interested or need or want to, I don't care. My email will be in the description of this podcast, along with the link in the description as well. The link to go just quickly go write a review on my podcast. You can simply just tell me what you think about it, or just give me another fact. Email me. It will be the link in the bio. Will be the link to that in my description of the podcast as well. And there you can just send me anything you want to. A funny video that I can watch. Something that you want to tell me. A statement, fact. I don't care. Send me anything, and I will talk about it in the conclusion. Those links will be in the description of this podcast for sure. But to end out this podcast, wow, where is it at? To me, I had to break. Oh, that's what it was. I just remembered. I almost forgot it, but a sad thing happened to me today. And it was actually a sad / irritating thing that happened to me. I had to break a 20, okay? I know breaking 20s are pretty sad, especially for a person in my financial stature. I know rich people, yeah, breaking a 20 is really nothing. But to me, breaking a large bill like that, which I consider that a large bill, fall on a budget, it's a large bill to me. But especially for what I broke it over, okay? I was ordering a drink, and I was 1 penny off. I had the cash amount. I had the few of the cents and the change, but I was literally 1 penny off. 1 penny. But they did not give me a penny. I had to break my 20 instead, and I was so irritated. If you've ever been in that situation, I mean, really, you would know how irritating and how mad I was. Just saying that, really, you're not going to just take a penny out of that tip jar that you have that has $2.57 that I can clearly tell you have? Because, I mean, no one really tips here. Yeah, it was at a Starbucks. I don't care. No one tips at a Starbucks. I know that no one tips at a Starbucks. Well, Dawson, what about that 15 to 20% thing that you're talking about? Well, they have to deserve it. Okay? They have to wait on me. They're not just going to take my order on a screen and meet with me for 30 seconds. No. That's not 15, 20% worthy. No, 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 no. You have to give me something high quality to give me to tip that big. But there was a penny in there, clearly. And a lot of people would do that. They would just take the penny out and just be like, hey, look, man, I got you. But guess what? This lady behind the counter did not even engage in that little realm area of the pennies. She just literally looked at me like, so, I know you're 1 penny short. What are you going to do about it? Well, I gave her a 20 to break. And while I gave her that 20, I almost wanted to break her face in. But guess what? I didn't. I held myself back. Okay? For many of reasons. Okay? Not just because of the simple common sense one. There was many reasons behind that. But yeah, I had the anger of that. I had to deal with it. And then I got back. Oh my god, what was it? I got back like $18 and something. I was like, dude, this makes you so mad. I broke a 20 on a drink. That's how that went down. So I vote the next cancellation you do, Twitter does or whatever, wherever the cancel party, cancel that girl, cancel that woman behind the counter that made me have to break my 20 and didn't give me a simple penny. And you know what was really even more embarrassing was, that made me even more irritated? I walked out the door, I found a penny on the concrete. Found a penny on the concrete. It was on tail, so I didn't pick it up. But I found a penny on the concrete. Irritating. But no, thank you for listening to this podcast. 10th episode, double digits. Hopefully it exceeded your expectations. Shattered it. But hopefully it makes you more interested. If you're new listening to this, hopefully it makes you want to listen more. And if you are a dedicated listener that has listened to all my podcasts, I want to give you a round of applause. And you know what? Email me. If you have listened to every single one of my podcasts from 1 to 10 and finished this one, this was the last podcast you listened to, email me. Okay? It will be the link in my podcast description. Or just replay this and listen to it. It's DawsonEiglehartBurner@gmail.com. Okay? Go and email me and say, hey Dawson, I've listened to every single of your podcast, and I will personally go on to Photoshop and make you a certificate and email you a certificate, a little award certificate. Thanks for listening to my first 10 podcasts. You're a true fan. I appreciate it. Okay? And I want proof too. Screenshot it. Screenshot your little podcast because you'll show when you've finished them. So, if you send me that and tell me that you've listened to all of them, I will personally make you a certificate. I will take time out of my day to go into Photoshop and make you a personal certificate from my heart, thanking you for listening to my first 10 episodes. And if you're a new listener, go back and listen to my other 9 episodes that I have, because you will love them just as much as you love this one if you enjoyed this episode, 10th episode. But no, thank you for watching and listening. The link to rating my podcast will be in the description. My email will be in the description. Go check those out. Click on them. Do what you will with them. Write me a review. Send me something that I can talk about for this and the conclusion for my next podcast. Do whatever you want with that. And thank you for listening. Tuesdays and Fridays. Every Tuesday and Friday. I know a lot of you will probably know about that, but the new ones, Tuesdays and Fridays. Thank you for listening. And DJ, spin us out, baby.
Last Cycle Hard Podcast. You are listening to the Last Cycle Hard. You are listening to the Last Cycle Hard Podcast.